This video is on one of my favorite topics in the world. I really haven't expanded on this topic and this platform just because it's just kind of very controversial, and it's just so much easier about talking about topics where people just don't get heated up, like frogs and languages. But one of my favorite topics in the world is, especially international politics, and everybody has an opinion and everybody gets upset if their opinion is not the same. So I'm gonna try to be as neutral as possible in the format. However, if I incur into some heated arguments or I create some discussion, it'll probably be better, because it's one of the things that people just really enjoy about politics. So this particular topic is about international organizations. I think many people will argue that some of the main international organizations in the world are NATO, which is pretty much a military organization. And I really do not know that much about NATO, just because I haven't been in Europe for that long and that much. But I was stationed in Washington, D.C. for a couple of years, and I went to many events of other international organizations. So 3 major international organizations that I think many people know about are the International Monetary Fund, the World Bank, and the United Nations. And I think for the average person, many times they just don't really understand necessarily which each one does and how they relate to each other. But they are relatively similar in the way that they are supra-government. They're above governments, and the 3 of them are pretty influential. I also wanted to add here, I think the State Department of the United States can be comparable to those other 3, just because it has so much influence. I mean, the United States has so much military power and is stationed into so many other places that it can even be, even in the soft power version, it can, in the diplomatic version, it can be seen as a major international organization entity around the world, even though it's really a national entity because it only represents one country. So the UN started with the League of Nations by Woodrow Wilson, an American president that abstained himself from intervening in World War I. And the idea behind it was, his idea was to create a consortium of nations that try to keep the peace and try to work together towards a common goal. So this is one of the major world organizations at the time, the League of Nations. Interesting thing about United Nations, a peace organization, since Woodrow Wilson, even though he had many contributions, he was known for having a dislike for African Americans, and this is one of the big big ironies of the world, how one of the main peace building organizations was started by a person who did not really like African Americans. That being said, Woodrow Wilson did do a lot of positive things, and the United Nations right now, it's in many countries of the world, and they provide not only aid, but they provide guidance. They provide a lot of work for people who are interested in development, and there's a lot of